Hello, how's it going? It's your friend, it's your pal, Larry Singleton here with episode 1 of Badinage. If you're wondering what this is, well, buddy, I'm just as confused as you. I don't know what this is either. I just thought it would be fun to do a little show, a podcast, for those of you that seem to enjoy my sense of humor. And if you don't enjoy my particular brand of comedy or my voice, well, you know what? My feelings are hurt, but I'm sorry to say I'm going to continue with the program because it's December 26th. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I had a good Christmas, but it's been a long year. It's been a stressful time. So there comes a time in every person's life where they have to start a podcast. And buddy, I have reached that point. I think I'm going to lose my mind if I don't do something. There's some guys that they act out in violent ways. That's not me. I go into my bunker and I record a podcast that no one listens to. So that's what this is. Your virtual friend is here. I'm just chilling like everyone else. I'm waiting to find out what the Canadian government is going to tell me to do next. I feel like I'm slowly losing my mind, which is what they want. But you know what? We gotta keep on fighting. So, yeah. I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen with these vaccines and shit. I don't think I'm gonna take it, but I gotta see who dies first and how healthy it is. I'm a little worried, to tell you the truth, because at the time of this recording, there is apparently a new strain. So next year, who the hell knows what's going to happen? It's going to be COVID-20, and every year we're just going to have to deal with new shit. COVID-21, COVID-22, Is that what this decade is going to be? Is that what we have in store? What did we deserve? You know what? Don't even answer that, because there's a lot that we did to deserve this new strain. Bro, the strain is mutating. Can you imagine? This is a terrible time. But you know what? Not really. At least I have the privilege of being able to record a show for you beautiful people out there. 2 or 3 of you that are listening, this is for you. No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. The world is going crazy, though. That's all I know. I'm just chilling. Just trying to keep things going here for you guys. I want to talk about Christmas. Today was a weird day. I had Christmas. It didn't feel like that at all. I said this is kind of a disgusting joke, but I said this to someone recently, that it felt like you're with a woman and you can't perform. That's how it felt. Like, there's excitement because everyone loves Christmas, unless, if you don't celebrate, that's up to you, and whatever your upbringing was, you might be different. But for me, I grew up brainwashed by capitalism, so I celebrate Christmas. But this year, I couldn't get excited. Couldn't do it. But it was alright. Spent the day with my family, my cat. he got some gifts too. We got him some fancy feast and shit. It was good. And now I'm back to being in the bunker, worrying about COVID and the vaccines and shit. I'll tell you right now, though, I don't think I'm going to take it. I got to see who is going to die from these weird-ass vaccines. I saw on the news a couple people took it, and they started getting all weird facial reactions. And the other thing, they said people that people that suffer from allergies shouldn't take the vaccine. And I suffer from allergies tremendously. Alright? There's times where I have to take a 25 milligram pill of antihistamine, diphenhydramine, a pink knockoff Benadryl pill, just to function, just to be a regular person. So I don't know what I'm going to do if the government forces me to take some vaccine that I don't want. It's going to be crazy. Can you imagine? To do anything from now on, you're going to have a COVID vaccine passport. So anything you want to do from the old world, if you want to go see a movie, you want to go grocery shopping, you're going to have to show them your vaccine passport. It's going to be like Holocaust shit. You're going to have to wear a COVID vaccine on your arm, showing your badge and shit. And if you don't have it, I don't even want to imagine what's going to happen. I've been to Auschwitz. I've seen the mountains of bad things that fascism... I'm just kidding. I'm not saying that the government is the same as Nazi Germany. However, I am saying it does kind of feel a little forced, you know? This is the first year I've been forced to be at home against my will. Can you imagine? There must be people in prison that are laughing at this shit. We have access to, like, you know, YouTube, Netflix. They're probably in their cells getting... I'm not gonna say it, but you can imagine getting unwelcomed visitors in their... And they're probably thinking to themselves, you know, these guys have it all, and they can't even, you know, they're having a tough time. Alright, that's enough of that. What else was I going to talk about? The world is going crazy. Oh yeah, the vaccine. Should I talk more about the vaccine? I'm kind of scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm worried. 'Cause here's the thing. The people touting this vaccine as like the miracle, it's the media. And the media, you can't trust the media. In January and February, they didn't even know anything. And now they're acting like they know everything. They didn't even know COVID was real until it was too late. And they're trying to tell me, take a vaccine that was just invented like 2 days ago. And if anything happens, you're on your own. And you know, here's the thing about the media. The real reason why I don't mess with the media is because of a woman by the name of Kitty Genovese. Those of you that have gone to higher learning, if you've gone to post-secondary schooling, or maybe if you haven't, you're just like, you know, an autodidact, you've probably heard about Kitty Genovese. The famous story is that she was murdered in cold blood in the mean streets of New York City, alright? In front of an apartment, and like 900 bajillion people watched, and they didn't do anything. That's what the paper said, okay? Nobody did anything, and yet everyone saw. The whole, bro, 1 million people saw this poor lady die. So they said. Turns out, several decades later, the editor, they found out that he was just a dickhole, and he was lying for the sole purpose of just selling more papers. So his whole thing was like, it's not going to be a good story if we tell the truth. And it's the 1950s or whenever this happened, so no one is going to fact check me. So by the time it's too late, I'll already be rich, so no one gives a shit. So I'm just going to lie, and you guys are going to have to deal with it. Change your whole school curriculum. You know, it doesn't matter. And you guys are going to have to grow up learning about this story that wasn't real while I get rich. And he published a book about it. And you know what? It wasn't real. And Netflix made I don't think they made it, but they had a documentary that the family of Kitty Genovese, they produced it. And I was watching this documentary, and I was like amazed that it was just lies and bullshit, bro. Just complete fabricated nonsense. And anyway, the point of the reason why I brought that up, the publication that story was in still exists today. That publication is called the New York Times. And like, the New York Times is still, it's seen as this amazing, you know? These are the people telling you to get the vaccine. The same people that lied about this poor Italian people, their family, and just ruined a generation forever with lies. That's who wants you to get the vaccine. So, enjoy, guys. Enjoy your Illuminati serum. You know why I don't trust the vaccine? The other reason? I'm going to be honest with you. Alright? Excuse me, man. I need some water. Alright, I'm back. You know, this is what happened. This is the first, like, the longest period of time that I've actually used my voice in a really long time. In my younger years, I used to work the phones. I used to, be a real salesman. Put on the charm, put on the gift of gab. I used to work the phones for like 5 hours. But now, in my old age, I'm 28. I'm going to be 29 in a couple of months. Something's going on here. Nah, I don't know. It's the end of the day, But anyway, what I was going to say was, before my throat started feeling like sand there, was that the reason why I don't want to take the vaccine is that I have this suspicion that we're being slowly, like, conditioned. That's what it feels like. I know it sounds like crazy talk, but it feels like the world is just getting crazier and just escalating. And someone, a group of people, is responsible for this shit. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but I get it. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Like, this is what I mean. When I was growing up as a teenager, I saw the before and after of the iPhone. Okay? In 2007, the first iPhone ever was released to humanity. And people were never the same. I know that sounds like, some old man complaining. But I'm telling you, people before the iPhone and after the iPhone were not the same. These things have molded people's personalities. They've changed how people interact with each other. I made a video on my YouTube channel. You could watch it. It's called Social Incompetence. People now, their whole behavior is molded by these machines. All right? They'll, like, people that I haven't spoken to in years will follow me on Instagram, and they won't say anything. They'll view my stories. They don't say hello. They don't start up a dialogue or like speak like a regular person. Hey, how are you? Long time no talk. They just view my stories like a weirdo, and they don't, and they think like that's okay. Like that's, it's weird as hell, man. This is, that kind of behavior would not be a thing in the past. People don't realize how much different they are now that this shit is a part of their lives. It feels like we're slowly being conditioned. And if I'm the last person on Earth that doesn't take this vaccine, and I'm just in this bunker making these podcast episodes that no one listens to, well, you know what? So be it. I don't care. I don't. If I never get to see a movie in a theater again because I don't take a vaccine, well, you know what? That's a chance I'm willing to take. I'm an OG, all right? I'm not going to be forced to join the masses of humanity. And it's a bunch of sheep, bro. I hate how people are now. I don't like Spotify. I don't like Netflix. I'm an old dude. I like owning my shit. I like vinyl, all right? There, I said it. I'm going to take a stand against the government. No, I'm not going to say that, because then I'll just get shot like Malcolm X or some shit. But yeah, I have a fear. You know what I was reading too? They identified microplastics in humans. So, I don't know. You have to wonder, alright? The Illuminati, the people that are in charge of running shit, like the 7 dudes at the top that are in charge, they're probably aware of all the things that are going on. This is not news to them. So we just find these things out like 20 years later, Like, what if COVID was a thing that already existed like 5 years ago, but this is the first time we're hearing about it? You know what I mean? I don't know. That probably doesn't make any sense. Like, if you didn't know COVID existed and you just lived your life like how you were living it in 2019, do you think you would be fine? I think I would be fine. I know that sounds stupid, but I'm gonna choose to put that out there. Alright, let me have some water. Back in the old days when I used to work the phones, I was amazing, alright? I could go for 5 hours straight talking to people in British Columbia and getting them to, like, talk to me. just someone they never spoke to for, forever. And by the way, my first book, Absolute Anhedonia, that was like inspired by my time working the phones. In my early 20s, I was a charming young man, but then something happened. Then some guy ate a bat, and I lost my mind, and here I am. What else should I talk about, guys? You know what? For future shows, I think I'm gonna do Instagram lives, and I'm gonna make this a little more interactive. This is the first episode here, and you know what? It's gonna end up being like Mark Maron. In the future, I'm gonna have presidents come down to my bunker. It's gonna be such a success. It's gonna be amazing. No, that's probably not gonna happen. The world is getting crazier. You know why? This is what I think they're trying to do. They're trying to make everyone more isolated and destroy traditions so that young people get married less. There are fewer and fewer children, and we just have to listen to what they say, and it's going to be shitty for a while. Or who knows, I don't know. I'm just making shit up as I'm going along. You know, the first moment I knew things were crazy? This is kind of silly, but last year, around this time, 2019, there was a young man that he went to my old school, the University of Toronto, and he had a bucket filled with urine and feces, and he went to the library that I wrote many essays in, Robarts. It's one of the best libraries in the whole world. I honestly think that's why I stayed all 4 years at that school. It's because I would just go to the library and, I'd have access to anything. And I'd take out, like, Criterion movies and shit. It was great. Anyway, so this guy was going to different libraries and pouring buckets of shit and piss on studying, unsuspecting students. And that happened around the tail end of 2019. And you know what? The moment I found out that was happening, as soon as I heard that in the news, I remember thinking very clearly to myself, I think this next year, there's something crazy in the atmosphere that would lead to a man behaving in such like an insane manner. Like, what kind of, like, society right now, it feels like, the end of a Jenga game where the shit's just about to crumble. That's what it just feels like all the time. As soon as I heard that guy was dressing up as a construction worker and pouring shit all over people, I knew it. I'm not going to tell you that I knew COVID was going to happen, but I just knew. Every year since, 2015 has just been getting shittier and shittier. And on that note, I think it's a great way to end the first episode of whatever the hell this is. And I think I'm going to, these episodes are going to be at varying lengths. And I'll aim for once a week. But I can't promise you that because, you know what you guys should do? I'll leave my email address at the bottom of the thing. And you can email questions and concerns or whatever, and I'll address them. And yeah, the tough thing about being any kind of artist, like publicly, if you want to do shit on YouTube, the funny thing is that it shows the views. So like everyone can see how much of a public failure you are. Because people, the metric for success for most people is like views. So if you post like a podcast and it has like 12 views, you look like a loser, like immediately. So the tough thing about this shit is having to deal with that. But you know what? At least it's not like I have to leave my house and see people and deal with the shame. So you know what? I'm gonna keep these episodes coming for you guys. I want to do a good job, and yeah, this is gonna be the cure, the talking cure. All right, that's enough.